Well, good afternoon, and thanks for joining us again today. Bob was kind enough to join us today and share some information about this that hopefully can be helpful to some of our very small business owners. So thanks for joining us, Bob.
My pleasure, Pat. Thanks for having me. The grant program that we put together is not that unique, actually, and it's not a Bob program. It's a county supervisor, not a supervisor program, even, but a county program in association and collaboration with other cities, including the city of Urbandale, and also the private sector itself, Good Morning Partnership, and some others. So we've got good participation, and the reason it's not unique is because other localities across the country have been doing this. Indianapolis has successfully, Atlanta, Phoenix, Philadelphia, all different levels of success, but the best ones that we've seen are ones that collaborate with private sector money and public sector money, both. So the county put in $200,000 to get started, and the cities like Urbandale put in a substantial amount of money of their own. And then we had the private sector come in and put some money towards this. We're hoping to raise $3 million to go towards our very smallest businesses. Now, you're probably wondering which businesses would qualify. Well, it's fairly simple qualification measure. It's businesses of 25 employees or less, all the way down to zero. So it includes sole proprietors. Maximum grants, $15,000. Right now, the level of time you have to be in business is a year, but that could change. We're still working through that. We are making it eligible anyone who's gotten PPP money or IDEA grants from the state or the federal government so far. Not that there's anything wrong with any of those things. It's just that we're looking for people that maybe have fell through the cracks or in part of that gap didn't get funded. That could be a lot of folks, people who applied too late, people applied but weren't successful, immigrant entrepreneurs would be another group that we'd probably look at as folks who aren't part of the PPP or IDEA situation. So I hope we can help some folks. Probably there's going to be more people we say no to than yes to, so not the greatest political move ever. The money is going to go so far. I think the where it goes will help the people that it helps. And, we're kind of opting for this to be good, not perfect. And we hope we can help some folks. And I'm sure we will. And we'd hope to roll this out next week. The partnership media team will be handling that side of it. But we want to give full recognition to the cities that are participating, like the city of Urbandale has exhibited great leadership. The mayor and the city council and the staff all have just have done great work. Clive is close to coming in. West Des Moines is in. Johnston's in. City of Des Moines is in a very big way. And we're hoping that we can get some other cities to come alongside too. And others are still considering it. So we've got good response. The private sector response has been very good also. And the only caveat on the private sector piece is that if your city is not participating, you're not eligible for any private sector money. And I think they see that as an incentive for communities to participate, which it is. So hopefully everybody does, because everybody has small businesses that need the money. So what kind of businesses would this be? Well, probably the first businesses that got shut down would be bars, restaurants, cafes, beauty salons, photography studios, single operator type businesses that maybe, a grant of $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 would really be meaningful to them. And we hope it is, because one last thing that anybody wants to happen, I don't care which side of the political divide you're on, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, either one, nobody wants to see our small businesses go out of business. They're tax-paying entities, and they're a backbone of all our businesses, and so we need to keep, to the extent we can, keep them healthy. And so when we come out of this in the next 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, whatever that time frame is, I don't know any more than the next guy does about that. Whenever we come out, we want to be there for them and be there to help and hopefully get them on their way to prosperity again.
That's a great program. Bob, last week I had Greg Edwards on, and from the Des Moines Convention and Visitors Bureau, and we were talking about a lot of those small businesses that you are identifying right there, the cafes, the restaurants, the bars, and we were, he was talking about ways that we could help support them just by simply taking advantage of some of their carry out that they have right now, just to help sustain them during this time. So in addition to that, boy, this just seems like it's going to be a fantastic program. If I'm a small business owner and my community, I've determined that my community is participating, what do I have to do to get the ball rolling on this?
Well, we'll work all that out by the end of next week. What we don't want to have happen is for people to hear about the program and then go to a website and the website doesn't work, or it's the wrong website or something. I mean, we've all experienced that kind of thing, and it just frustrates everybody, and you lose your credibility completely. So we'll be rolling this out to the public but also to, in the case of Urbandale, to Curtis Brown and AJ Johnson, the city manager, so that when people may call from the city of, that are located in Urbandale, may call Curtis, so they might call AJ and say, hey, I heard about this program. What do I do? They can say, well, here's where you go. Here's the website. And it'll be the website for the third party that's going to be operating this, is the Iowa Center that's working with the state on SBA loans right now. So they're familiar with this kind of program, and they will score and take the apps and vet them and make decisions and everything for everybody. And they'll have a pool of money that's dedicated to Urbandale, dedicated to Clive, dedicated to West Des Moines. And when that money is gone, it's gone. But hopefully it goes pretty far, because the private sector piece of this is going to be larger than we thought, which speaks very well for our corporate citizens, because they want the small businesses to succeed on, also. You know, we roll it out. We want to be able to point people in the right direction. We want to be able to tell people that across the metro and whatever city they're in, whether it's Des Moines or Clive or Altoona, that here's where you go, because they'll probably get the phone calls. I mean, Curtis Brown will probably get the phone calls from the businesses in Urbandale saying, hey, I heard about this program. Where do I sign up? And we want to be able to have an answer for them, or it's just frustrating for everybody. So we'll be rolling that out to everybody, and hopefully the process isn't too burdensome. The idea here is not to be a bureaucratic paper chase, but to be something that's fairly easy to apply for, fairly easy for the third party to identify, you know, the need. This is not a first come, first serve situation. This is going to be based on your need. And, you know, we don't want to make this too, like I say, bureaucratically burdensome, but at the same time, we'll have to have something to go on. And but that's our hope.
Do you have, and I don't mean to put you under the gun here, but do you have any thoughts or desires on when, once the process, you know, is completed, the application, somebody's been approved, could some of these small businesses start seeing money in the next 4 weeks or 6 weeks?
Yeah, I'd say that's safe. I think we want to turn this around as quickly as possible. You know, there's a saying in politics: do you want it done right or do you want it done fast? And we're opting for the latter at this point. So I mean, believe me, this isn't going to be perfect, but it will be good. And so we're opting for speed here, because I think that's of the essence. Every day goes by is another day without revenue for some of these outfits. And I talked to a constituent up in Johnston that has a small cafe. This woman's worked, you know, hard at IV and local hospital, saved up her money to open this cafe, being very successful at it. Now she's not able to pay her rent, and she's trying to get by on, you know, a couple of takeouts a day, maybe sometimes zero, and you just can't make ends meet that way. So the faster we can get this person like that, not her specifically, but a person like that, the faster they get the money, the better off they're going to be, and the more in position they're going to be to get up and running again when they're able to.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, we look forward to this this coming out, and I'm sure there'll be information pushed out on different social media channels too, I'm assuming.
Yeah, definitely. The partnership's pretty good at that, and that'll be rolling out to Tiffany and her crew at Urbandale Chamber, because they may get the calls too. I mean, you know, we didn't mention them, but you know, if you're a small business, you're a member of the Urbandale Chamber, you know, that probably would be a place you'd think of to call. Yep. And so we want them to have the information too.
Yep. Well, that's exciting stuff, and I appreciate you coming on today, taking a few minutes to talk about it. The more all of us hear about it, the more we can. I know I've already shared it with a small business that has a little workout facility in Urbandale. So more we can get this word out, and we can start spreading it around. Hopefully, the more businesses we could save.
Right. Well, I just want to add here that the local response from the citizens of this metro has been terrific, and you know, they've taken this seriously. The volunteerism has been great. Their ability to provide PPEs, masks, make their own masks, and give them to other people, and things like that has been terrific. Of all the PPEs we've collected in the Polk County through the Emergency Operations Center, 90% have been from the public. Wow! So it's just a huge outpouring of goodwill and really love by the part of our citizens. So you know, hats off to you.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, thank you very much for your time, Bob. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to share this information today, and I'll be sure to push this out on social media so we can help get the word out. And stay healthy.
You too, Pat.
Stay healthy. All right. Take care. Have a great rest of the day.
All right. You too, my friend. Thanks.